was there is a man and a woman in a household in a relationship or whatever the case may be. The man pays 50% of the bills. Like he pays half. Exactly half of the bills, no more, no less. He pays half. Does that make him a provider? What is your definition of a provider?
I was listening to everything y'all said before, but traditionally, when people talk about a provider, like you said, I don't know why it's supposed to be or what people think about a provider have to be 100%. No, I believe 50%, he's still a provider because it takes two people in a relationship. So his 50% and her 50%, that's the financial part of paying bills. But are they helping each other out with chores? And it's not just about the money. It's about raising the kids. It's about, dropping this kid to whatever work stuff they have after school stuff. I mean, there's a lot more than just financial.
Everybody in that group said no, and only because the man was providing half of the financial. They didn't even talk about anything else in the relationship. They talked about nothing else that a relationship is built around. It was 100% about finances. And I'm like, if that's all you are concerned with in a relationship, you are missing the fucking point of a relationship.
Yeah.
You're missing the point.
It's like we need to have people look up the definition of it, because obviously they don't know what it is. It's called relationship.
Relationship is to have somebody pay your bills, and that's gonna make them your provider. That's all. Like literally, that's all. That's all you looking for. Long as the man got some money, you fine. He can be a complete asshole.
No, they're crazy.
Don't do nothing else. The mindset was beyond me. I was like,
oh girl. What age group were you with, or what kind of people were you?
This was an older group.
Wow.
It's sad. And that to me tells me that people haven't really been in it deep and stood in.
That's why I said when you get with someone, or I mean, once you date for a certain period of time, you've already understood each other's, likes and wants, and you decide it's not just about money. It's not just about who's bringing.
Just let's back it up for a moment. Let's say you're a stay-at-home mom, right? Or stay-at-home wife or whatever. When that husband does get sick, what is the expectation of the wife? You expect
not only sick. I was going to tell you, when my husband played football, he always said, if we can afford it, I want you to stay home with the kids when they're young. I stayed home. When football was done, he didn't have a job. I went and worked. The first 3 years, he didn't have a job. Right after football, I was the one working. So,
and wasn't nobody complaining about where the money for the food was coming from.
Right.
Trust and believe, when your ass is hungry, you don't give a damn what the gender is of the person that's bringing in the money that put the food on your table. You don't really care. You care about that growl in your stomach and the pain that you hear. So it's like when people talk about provide, it's to supply what is needed for whatever is needed. If y'all cohabitating, then each person is going to supply something. Even if I just supply you comfort. Remember I told you about that movie, Always Numbered and Always Outgunned, starring Natalie Cole and Lawrence Fishburne, when he said he never talked about money when he said what he needed from a woman. And what bothers me is that when people talk about the provision or being a provider, they take it straight to money. They take it straight to money.
Yeah.
Everything that I see says nothing about money. It doesn't. So what is it? We have to step back, and this is what I say on my Monday broadcast. I say that people need to really step back and understand how messages and stuff that's shaping their life every single day. You listen to people who are image consultants, people who ain't never been married, people that don't have children, people who have never had a situation of financial hardship or needed somebody to do anything, telling you how to live your life. They have never dealt with a sick parent, a sick spouse, gone through a death, divorce. You got people telling you how to deal with marriage, and they never went through a divorce or never been married. Or worse yet, theirs didn't work. Now you can sit here and say, I'm telling you from the things that I didn't know, but to me, it always seems like, as I hear the conversations, Why can't we talk to people in love? Why it's always got to be berating people and bringing them down? That's what I see is the difference between our shows. We try to uplift people, engage in light discussion, and help people be inspired. Whereas when I see the conversation, it's like, you ain't this as women, you ain't that as men. Why do you think people are doing that?
Because it's what they're accustomed to doing.
Or what they see on a daily, like how, yeah.
Or do you think that that's sensational and they're hoping to go viral?
It could be that. I mean, they could be doing it for the likes. We're doing it for the gram. We're doing it for the TikTok. It's the TikTok now. It ain't even the gram no more. It's the TikTok.
Right.
Swear. And I was listening to Madonna earlier. You heard the music in the background. She was talking about we only got 4 minutes or whatever. People want that 5 minutes or 5 seconds of fame. So everybody is coming to the gram and the tube with no credentials, telling people how to live their life. And then when people don't measure up to somebody that went and put a suit on or pearls, and came back and told them how to live their life, they go and commit suicide. I heard some
just participating. Participation trophies.
Yeah,
you don't have to work hard for shit. You ain't got to work hard for it. You don't have to earn it just for going. We're going to give you a trophy just because you participated in this. Get that shit out of here because that's not teaching them anything. Not teaching them nothing. So the minute they're told no or that doesn't work, and the minute that they're given something that they don't like, they go into this spaz because they're not used to hearing this. Like these kids, parents, because the parents all of a sudden want to tell them no. Like,
so what were you gonna say, Denise? Because
I was thinking about the Instagram and the TikTok. If you're not an influencer and have all these 10K and 100 million followers like the movie stars, it's like they're gonna lose their mind. They think it's the end of the world if they don't have all the followers and the.
You know what it is? It's the same feeling that people had. You remember the movies Mean Girls?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted, it all goes right back to Maslow. Y'all know I was going to go somewhere academic on your ass. I was going. That hierarchy of news where first you realize you alive, but then you want to belong to something. Remember the tribes and the clans and stuff, like in family? You want that sense of belonging. When you leave your house to go somewhere, you want to feel like you belong to something. That's a really powerful thing. And it's the thing that if people feel like they're on the outside of group, I'm not popular. I'm not popular. No one likes me. That's the stuff that even the rich girls in Connecticut and the rich guys was going home hanging themselves over or taking a bunch of sleeping pills, because it don't matter. That sense of belonging is greater than anything else that people want. They want to know that they like. Think about it when you went to school, the popular girls and how people was tripping to get into certain groups. You think about that. Do you think that stops when people get out of high school? No,
not at all. It probably gets worse.
You read my mind.
Yeah,
it gets worse.
The other movie, what is it? Michelle and Romy's Reunion. I don't know if you ever saw it, but
tell me the name of the other movie you were saying. Always something outnumbered. What was it?
Always outnumbered, always outgunned.
Always numbered.
Always outgunned.
Okay.
Yep, and it's Lawrence Fishburne and Natalie Cole, and it's one of those movies that, see, a lot of times people used to wait for the big blockbuster movies come out, and I used to always watch for these little indie movies, because I'm gonna tell you, some of them indie movies be bringing the pain and the pleasure at the same time, because they bring you real life messages, because they don't have these big studios shutting down their voice. When you going with Paramount or what's some of the other ones? I don't know, but I know like Pixar.
20th Century Fox, yeah.
Yeah, the Pixar got, Pixar known for kids stuff.
Right.
You can't be out there with, like, you can't even wear button-down cleavage on Pixar. It's like, hey, we're the kids movie people, right?
Yeah. PG.
G, girl, G, backward G.
G.
Yeah, so I was looking at this week and I was like, oh, it's some crazy stuff out there. All right, I got a question for you. For all of the people that's out there, we're going to transition to another question. you know, like how Mother's Day and Father's Day are two separate holidays, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm talking like diversity of thought, new age thinking and stuff. In the COVID pandemic, we've seen a lot of men have to take on the roles, because if you think about what the role of a child caregiver is, right? That nurture of the child, a person that's at home and stuff. And we're talking about, Denise, you had brought something earlier about the provider, and this all ties in to the mores and stereotypes about who is a provider and what the meaning of is a provider in context, right? So we're seeing a lot of men going into the role of being a primary caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
Should men be allowed to celebrate Mother's Day? And I'm bringing this topic early because I'm bringing it first. I don't want all these other bandwagoners to say you brought it first. I think about this stuff, y'all. I'm like George Wallace. I be thinking.
Well,
Because how many women celebrate Father's Day?
Come on, y'all. So if we want equitable equality and all of this stuff, you know, you saw Joe Biden just said something about the focus on equity, and equity means the same for the same work. I bet stuff with childcare and everything else get fixed if men assert that that's one of their primary roles since COVID. What do you think, Denise?
are you talking what? Say that again. Are you talking about the Mother's Day, Father's Day thing?
Yeah, I'm thinking men will assert that they should be allowed to celebrate Mother's Day because they are performing tasks that are in roles now that are attributed to moms. So should men be allowed to celebrate Mother's Day?
No, a Mother's Day is
Wait,
for mom.
okay. Before you say it. The women are on the front line. Okay, let's just think about this before you answer this question. You're gonna go back to what you said about traditional roles. The man is now flip-flopped and performing what you say is a traditional role of the woman, and the woman is out there on the front line. Because let's say she's a nurse, doctor, any of those first responders. He was a laborer. He could have been in the restaurant industry. He laid off here at home. I'm painting you the picture. The roles have reversed. He's doing the exact same things that she was doing, to the degree, and sometimes even better.
Well,
should he be able to celebrate?
No, a mother is a mother and a father is a father. You celebrate them on their day. I'm not saying, the one thing I thought about, to the exception, is the mothers that do both jobs, and when the child wants to, you know, thank their mother for being mother and father on Father's
So
Day.
the fathers don't get that same thing?
Like there's some fathers out there right now.
Yeah, they do.
They
do.
There's some
fathers. The way you look at it, they do. But I mean, what the father is doing, just because he took over the mother's roles, don't mean he have to celebrate Mother's Day. You celebrate him on Father's Day.
But the women took over the father's role and they celebrate father's role.
Her.
Do we have a double standard here?
A double damn standard. Yes, we do.
I think we got a double standard here.
No, because that's what I knew exactly when you said that. I knew exactly where you were going, because on Father's Day, there are so many women that are out here telling other women Happy Father's Day, because there are more single women than there are men.
They feel like
their children. So I get where she's coming from, because I know more single men that are raising their children without their fucking parents. We got 5 we can name off top of our head.
Yes, we can.
Fathers that are raising their children by themselves without the mothers being present. So with them taking on both roles as father and mother, do they get to say Happy Mother's Day? I get exactly where you're coming from, because that's where women get that shit from. I'm these kids by myself, so I'm mother and father.
So yeah, if he's doing it all by himself,
by himself, you get damn right you can be mama and daddy. God damn it.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. Preach.
Yeah, if he's doing it all by himself, then then you celebrate him on both days.
That's why I said that women, that's what I'm talking about, equity. We stand up and say we want equality, but equity is honoring the role itself. It's not looking at the gender. Because genders are fluid. We know that right now. Some people don't identify with male nor female, but they're doing the work. So that's what I'm saying. If the holiday is to honor the attributes or the task that somebody did for that child performing those duties, then you can't have it both ways.
But I think that all of that shit is bullshit anyway.
It's all
That's
based
why-
on commercialism, man. It's capitalism.
I feel like women should not be celebrating Father's Day, whether they raise them as single parents or not.
Right.
You should not say Happy Father's Day to a woman because you're not a man. You can't teach him the
Exactly.
things you teach him.
That's where
you
I was
can't
going.
teach him those things.
Yep.
But it's so common for women to say Happy Father's Day to another woman because we have so many single mothers out
No,
here.
I never really seen a woman
And
say
those
that.
posts go viral.
I've heard it.
Those posts go viral.
I've just
I'm
heard
sorry.
kids. I have just heard kids say to their parent, You've been mother and father to me." That's all I've heard. So I've never seen.
And that statement is great. I appreciate
Right.
that.
But I don't know
that
nobody
statement.
like you talking about. Them
But
women telling women Happy Father's Day? No.
Trust me, you go down the timeline. Look, Father's Day is coming up, Mother's Day is coming up, right? Watch the timeline.
Check it, watch it.
Watch the timeline. I promise you, you are going to see it. And I said to say this. Our first thing I do is post a picture on my damn timeline that says, "It's Father's Day, bitch, sit down."
Right.
It's not your day.
Right.
Let them celebrate being a father. It's
I'm
not
about to choke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sit down. Because all men are not bad men. So
Thank
stop
you.
putting all of them in the same fucking barrel. They ain't all the fucking same.
Hello.
They ain't all the same.
Right. That's absolutely true. And you know what? I'm so glad we're doing this tonight because see, we point out all these double standards. You know, we have to really be careful as humans not to focus on these, to wrap our lives up and to decide what we're gonna do and how we're gonna react and relate and shit on some double standards. Because you really, that's why I was saying yesterday that reflection is so important. It's like, why am I doing this? What am I saying? How am I reacting? And what is driving me? What's the trigger? And how do I control? Because those are the things that are going to get us through. And everybody is so busy on looking to the internet, the gram, Facebook, to other people to tell you how to be. You know, a lot of what we have, we know instinctively what to do. So the question is if we know what the hell we're supposed to be doing around this stuff, why the hell we don't just do it?
I was just going to ask that why we ain't doing it.
Why we ain't doing it? I'm going to tell you why we ain't doing it.
And we didn't say why you ain't doing it. We said why we ain't
doing it.
As a collective. We not pointing the finger at nobody. We all taking full responsibility in this why we, as a whole, are doing.
Yeah.
So I know that we all have been through something like that, right? Where we just like deflected. So if you out there, what have you been through that's making you do this? And what I'm saying to you is that it's so powerful to do the reflection, but it's painful because you got to go back and remember what your part, and you were a participator in your own pain. And people don't want to deal it. Oh, no, I didn't do that. It was all so-and-so. But no, everything about anything that we do to set up our lives, if people who subscribe to the power of bringing things into their life through their actions, you know that every action has a reaction, right? So back up and say, what the hell did I do to deserve this? Oh, you know exactly what you did today. You made a list. And if you didn't make the list now, because you could back up and see what happened, right? That's why I was like, all of this stuff that people are sitting here grappling with, a lot of what we're seeing is because people do have time on their hands. But how our purpose is to help you to understand what's going on with the energy in your life and help you shift it.
Right.
You know, to do something different. We just want to enlighten you as to what we see is that we see from the post and everything. Because like you said, D'Artagnan, when you came with that post, it's like
it was only every that commented in that post said something about finances. Every single person. Except maybe, I'm sorry, there's probably 3 guys that said if that's all she's looking for, she's probably not the person that you should be with.
So I ain't saying she a gold digger.
With no broke what?
Yeah, I can't just be focused on the money. So the last topic that I'm finna blow y'all mind with now is still related to the same thing. So I was reading about
they're right.
Okay, so y'all remember that movie with Idris Elba, and it was about, what was it, his daughters, where he took over his daughters. Idris Elba had the 3 daughters, and Tasha Smith was the mother. And
oh yeah,
she was trifling.
Yep.
So you know, he really showed, and it's talking about what we just talked about. So let's go back for our audience and recap where this discussion was, so they can actually see how everything is tied together. We started talking about what does it mean to be average, and is it okay to be average? And then we talked about what it is to be a provider, the definition of as a provider, and we noticed that everybody talked about it only in the context of finances. And now what we're doing is we're segueing into it. If you think about it, a father, in my heart of hearts, I always used to say, if me and my husband ever separated, he getting the kid. So, do you think that it's wrong if you separate in your marriage for the father to have custody of the child?
No.
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 I'm
equal parents
right now.
Say that again.
I'm about to speak firsthand right now. I've been married twice.
Okay.
Right? My first marriage, when
it's a 9, baby.
Now, wow, this only lasted about a month, maybe 2 months. I just needed him to understand what it was going to be like to be a single parent and have to deal with all these kids and have to make sure the kids get to school and make sure you gonna deal with that. Like, I left Derek and Winter. Left both of them. Got an apartment, everything. That's what you think you finna go off and play house with somebody else and you not free and you gonna leave me with all these bills and these kids? No, you don't get to do that. How about you figure out how you gonna get to work on time and make sure the kids go to school on time and get picked up and get fed and get put to bed? No, you gonna do that. And because I did that, I have never, ever had an issue with him when it came to our children, ever.
Yeah, that's the thing is because the philosophy for me is that if it takes 2 to make a kid, God is saying, or whoever the creator is to put us together, when one is tied, the other one take over. And in my mind, you just as good as I am. I ain't got no qualms and no quirks about letting those social mores about what I should be interfere with what reality is, because you're gonna do this and you're gonna see what it's like, and I'm gonna go and do what I need to do in order to be what I need to be. Yeah, I firmly believe it. And my daughter was 16. Okay, it's like, okay,
you can have your sanity.
Listen,
no, you get the kid, the diaper bag, and I'll be back in a couple
and
weeks.
When that hollering ass kid is up all night, you can go and stay up all night because you ain't got nothing to do but run around in the street the next day. I'm going on to school and I'm working my part-time job so I can do what I need to do. When y'all get tired, y'all will figure it out, right?
Right.
So and the other thing I was going to say is they always talking about, oh man, I want you to stay home and take care of the kids. Well, I remember the Phil Donahue era. Let me tell you about the Phil Donahue era after the Mad Men era. The Phil Donahue era is where all the women was 40. They had been at home and stay-at-home moms, and the guys was trading them in for a newer model because they could afford to do it. They was coming out and saying, I have no skills. I've never done anything. I can't get a job. I can be a prostitute, and that's all I can really do. That's why women went back to school and starting to say, I'm going to defer childbearing for my education because I'm not going to let you trade me in for a younger model. And then there's some of us, like they try to paint that Black women don't know how to balance us. Some of us were married, did have families, and did pursue academia just like our white counterparts, and then something happened where the man said, oh, I felt neglected. That old ploy, you know, you ain't, and if you, and so he got a girlfriend, you know, under whatever circumstances. We always got to know as women that if what these men say about wanting a younger model, somebody that you can teach, well, we ain't gonna be young forever. And what we saw in Diary of a Mad Black Woman is they trade you in for a younger model, but the younger model is not necessarily going to stick around if it ain't about the money, as T.